Hello students, this is a quick tutorial to explain how to use Illustrator to create a laser cut design similar to this for the interdisciplinary project. So the idea is two things with this. One, to come up with a design that's somewhat illustrative, somewhat handmade, and then to use a technique to transfer that handmade illustration into a file that the laser cutter can use to create some sort of game. So this is like a beanbag toss game. So you're going to, create a design, use the laser cutter to cut out the actual holes of the beanbag toss thing, and then have like little guidelines or little lines engraved in the surface of the MDF which you can paint during the following session. Alright, what you'll need for this is a template that looks like this. Okay, an A4 template. On that A4 template, think about what your design should be. Draw on that A4 template in pencil, lightly, whatever your design should be, whether it's the beanbag toss game, the balloon game, the head and the whole thing, whatever you want, draw it on here. Then you're going to go over it in marker, black marker, and make sure you've got very clean, thick lines. So it should look something like this. Something like this. Right, very thick, clean, black lines. You might notice as well in the template, the blue, the furthest border is the edge of the MDF board. The inside border, you shouldn't draw over that because you don't want to cut into the edges of the board. Alright, but this is the sketch you want. Okay? Now, you're going to scan that with the photocopier, scan it, email it to yourself. Once you've got an email of your scan, you come to Illustrator. So, hopefully you've installed Illustrator. Create a new file. Right, when you create a new file, super important that you have the correct measurements set up in Illustrator. 900 wide by 1200, and the unit of measurement is millimeters. Right? If it's set to pixels, it'll be tiny. If it's set to centimeters, it'll be huge. If it's set to meters, it'll be absolutely gigantic. So very important that we set it to millimeters. Then click create. Alright, once you create, you're good to go. You then go, here we go, file, place, find your template and place it on. Right, you want to drag the corners and have the furthest border fit neatly in the square that you just made. If it's slightly smaller, that's okay, but you should try and use your space. Right? Once your picture is in there, you're good. Just tap somewhere. Right? And to put your picture in, file, place. Right, now, we're almost done. Click on your picture, object, image trace, make and expand. Right, so it might not look like it's done anything, but what it's actually done is it's traced around your sketch, which is a pixel-based image, and turned it into a vector image, which is kind of like lines instead of pixels. What you want to do is find this tool, the magic wand. So the magic wand, you're going to use that to click on the outside of the picture on this white and press Command X. Right? It's very subtle, but what I've done is sort of like it's converted it into black and white. You want to click on the white part of the picture and press X. Right, so I've subtracted the border around the picture. Right, and you can tell because you'll only see the edge of the Illustrator document. Right, now, one last thing to do. Okay, if I were you, I'd do this. Okay, also magic wand. If you can't find it, help, magic, and there's your magic wand. Right, one last thing. Press Control A, and what you want to do is like change these lines around. Right, there we go. So that's good. And what we're going to do is set red lines for engrave, and then have black lines for cut. So it's probably easiest to select everything and change it to red to begin with. Okay, then, whoops, then you're going to have to just select the black parts. Alright, so I want to click on this circle. If everything's being selected at once, go Object, Ungroup, click on this black part, and then select the black line. Alrighty, almost done. Right, there we go. So, you've used image trace to convert the picture into lines. You've used the magic wand to erase the outside. You've selected everything by going Command A. You then change the color over here in swatches to red. Red will be the lines that are engraved. These will be the guidelines for painting. And you changed the black part to cut. Okay, once your file looks like this, you are done. You then go File, Export, Export As. You've got two options, DXF, and just call it whatever, Christmas thingy. DXF. Just click OK, OK, OK. And I think you can also go Export or Save As SVG. Okay, but I'll just go for simplicity, File, Export, Export As DXF. Okay, then you're done. Alrighty, hopefully that makes sense. File, place your picture in, Object, Image Trace, make and expand, magic wands to click on the outside, change the parts that should be engraved to red, change the parts that should be cut to black, File, Export, Export As DXF. Okay, good luck.